Ready?
Yeah.
Hi guys! Welcome to the premiere of Studio Zervicepoint. And this is of course the first episode where we will look at what's hot in business automation, and also we will have partners or customer with us. This actually means that we are expanding our presence here. So if you're still interested in where we do a highlight of big features and do a more in-depth walkthrough, we got Zervicepoint update for you. And check out the link in the description if you want to see the latest out there. But for Studio Zervicepoint, we will both have partners, customers, and look into hot topics that are today. And some practicalities before we get started. Of course, as always, we love feedback. So give us a shout out in the comments or ask questions in the chat or just post an emoji just so we know that you're out there. And if you have access to our community channel, drop us a note there. And if you don't, you can just send us an email to info@zervicepoint.com and we hook you right up. And don't forget to subscribe. Have you subscribed?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. And have you clicked the little bell button?
I will do it 5 minutes after this.
Yeah, good. Because then you get all the notifications when we upload new stuff, or like this when we go live. You definitely don't want to miss that. And finally, a shout out to Team Zervicepoint. All the stuff we're discussing here today, and they couldn't have been done without you. So a big thanks. My name is Richard. I'm part of this awesome gang called Team Zervicepoint, and with me today I have Carl Johan Hultqvist from Zitac.
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We need to give it away.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Richard just said that I'm Carl Johan Hultqvist and I work for Zitac, and I'm responsible for the automation team. I've been with Zitac for about 10 years, but actually my first experience doing this with the studio, and exciting about that. Even if I know that the camera adds 10 kilos, which I don't need at all.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a great experience, and also I'm really happy that we can introduce Zitac to hopefully some new customers to Zervicepoint and existing customers today. So, yeah.
And you are currently ongoing the final phase of our partner enablement program. Could you tell us a little bit about Zitac as well? What should we know?
Yeah, it's difficult to summarize everything, but one thing I always come back to when we present Zitac is that we have a high technology focus. Doesn't matter which business area we're talking about, we always try to have a focus in what we do, and that normally means that consultants spend a lot of time doing trainings, going to events, evaluating different versions of products like Zervicepoint. But also they are given the time to do and build new stuff, new solutions, and bring out the customers. So that's one thing that always come back to. But yeah, we're 50 people located around southern Sweden. Now we have offices in Stockholm, Malmö, Helsingborg, and Göteborg. But also doesn't matter that much anymore where you're located. We work with customers all over Europe, and it works quite well anyway. And 15 of those persons are focusing on this area that we're talking about now: automation, IT service management, self-service. So we try to focus a lot on what we do, and having 15 people focusing on this area, it's quite a lot in Sweden, I would say. So that's something that also I think why we decided to go with you is that you're the same type of company focusing a lot on the automation part and self-service part. So I think that's a good match for us.
It most definitely felt like a good match. I remember, I think it was about half a year ago. I think that's also how we did the press release. You actually had me at hello, like in Jerry Maguire, perhaps without the romantic music, but
with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you Tom Cruise. I'm Ren Zellweger. That's how it is. And because I remember in the first meeting, you were talking about how you actually try to help your customers, and you also mentioned that you're love technology and you're good at that, but the main focus is actually helping customers. And you see all the struggles in business automation because there are so much things you can do right and there are so much things you can do wrong, and that's where you actually had me at hello. We saw the both things. But coming back to business automation. How do you work with that at Zitac?
I think we've done a very similar journey as you have done. We started out doing small IT automations for the IT department. Could be rolling out software, creating user accounts, stuff like that. And then when that was successful, we were contacted by the security department, and then maybe the business department to do ordering processes, and then HR. So as you say, now it's more about the business process automation than just IT automation. And you can also see that it changed a little bit. Before, we were always contacted because the company wanted to save money or save time. Now it's changed a little bit to user-centric focused, I would say. So we try to help the users reach their goals by doing self-service and doing automation and improving quality and stuff like that. So I think we sell it more talking about those areas than just the cost saving that used to be the biggest.
And you probably also experienced a shift in going from IT to more business or core business areas for automation.
You just, if you look at who contacts us now, it's more about people coming from HR or the management team, or we still do a lot of IT automations, of course, but it's a shift, I would say. I agree with that.
Most definitely. We talked about that before. When working with business automation, it's so easy to get carried away that you kind of pick up the wrong things or get focused on. What do you believe is the number one thing organizations should think about when starting out or working with business automation?
I think what we run into a lot is that everybody wants to do automation right now. We have meetings where they want to do a lot of things, but sometimes you forget that before doing automations, you need to do some key things before that. Otherwise, it's no point of doing it, and it will be a failing project, let's say. So normally we try to visualize this by talking about different steps where you have to go through these steps before you do the automation. And maybe the first one would be to know your environment, to know the data, to have good data in the AD, to know how many computers you have, where the users are located. Just control, I would say. Most companies now have that. But then the next step would be to have a life cycle around the user, around the systems, and also to bring in standards and work in the same process. Because if you don't do that, if you have maybe 2 HR systems or maybe 2 different processes for hiring people, then you will fail with automation, of course. So sometimes the companies forget that you need to do that first, and then you can automate. But sometimes we also see that by bringing in like Zervicepoint and buying a automation platform, you can also initiate that type of work. So sometimes when you start automating like an HR process, you will see that we work differently. 2 people will work differently in HR, so you 2 need first to work in the same way, and then we can automate the process. So I would say it still helps to buy the portal, even if you're not ready for it, but you need to do those steps, otherwise it's impossible.
You can't forget about that. You really need to change the way you're actually working and thinking.
And streamline processes, I would say. So a lot of the time we spend in projects are more about that than actually develop is the easy part, I would say. So that's the biggest challenge we run into, but also a possibility to work in a smarter way, and then I think Zervicepoint can help to do that transformation.
And that is also some of the areas where we have discussed. So if I come as a customer, I want automation, you actually take a step back, look at and
it depends. Some customers have maybe an automation team, let's say, so they know that it's not possible to do this if you don't have it. So every customer is different, but if they come like that and say we want to do automation, we will quite quickly see that it's not possible because you work in do this task differently every time you do it. Maybe you have 40 computer models. And you buy computers, sometimes you buy it from one company, sometimes from another one. Some people just plug in the computer. It will be impossible to automate that process. So you need to fix that first.
Is that kind of because we talked about a little bit of this before, is this your triangle of way of working?
We try to see it as steps like this, that it's I think this is a model that most companies use, but that you need to have the control of what you do. Normally you buy an inventory tool or something for that, and then the life cycle, the processes work in the same way,
step.
and then automation, and then the highest step would be business intelligence, machine learning, and stuff like that. We have some customers who are at the highest step as well, starting to do that, and but it's not possible if you don't do the other parts first.
But I agree. It is actually a challenge and something that we see a lot of us in this area field actually want the final part before we're actually done the homework on that. You need to work on all of these. Of course, you can do a quick start, as you say, on automation or even higher like machine learning or AI, but you can't forget about the other.
Yeah. But sometimes, as I said, sometimes you need the project of implementing a tool, and then people will understand that, okay, we cannot do this if we don't change. So we see sometimes that it's better to maybe actually to buy the tool, whichever tool it is, but then the project maybe can point and say we cannot save money, we cannot cut time if we don't change. It's impossible to do this automation.
Yeah, exactly. So you can start anywhere, but you need to think about the whole we just started out a vlog series, actually, link in description, which focus on how you go from out to outstanding. And one of the things we discussed in the first episode was automation shouldn't be a big project. Yeah. And then that actually seems like what you're coming back to. You should just start, even though it means that you pick a tool and have that as a starting point.
I think we did that mistake in the past, that we did 2 big projects. We did projects of 1,000 hours, and then when we completed that project, the customer almost changed what they wanted from the start. So now I think we try to instead doing small projects, maybe 40 hours, maybe 10 hours, and just do a lot of stuff, and then they can benefit from it directly instead. Yeah. And instead we try to have a roadmap together with the customer. So it's better that you do small things every month and come up with news on the Zervicepoint portal, instead of just doing one thing and wait for it for 1 year. So exactly. I would say that we don't have any big projects right now. We have just a lot of small ones.
It's a good thing. We didn't talk about that. This is just our belief, but it seems like you share it as well. And the good thing is, if you don't know where you want to end up, if you do it incrementally and small, you can actually change that. Yeah, it's easier. Yes, that is how you look the Zitac triangle. Perhaps we will actually get some kind of graphics here in post-production, or no, you want to shake his head. So, and you also come back to the other thing is that you as an organization must be ready to change yourself. Yeah. You cannot just take automation and sprinkle that or throw it at an organization. You need to be able to change yourself.
I think most people are willing to do it as well. It's that, but it's sometimes they don't realize that you need to do that work is on the company to do. It's not so much that we can do it for them, but more and more we are contacted by departments that before maybe they never would have contacted us, but like HR now, they're really open, I would say, to take away manual tasks and stuff like that. So I think they're getting more ready for it.
So what we are, if you're summing up that, it's a mindset also. You must be ready. We can start anywhere, think small, but be ready. You need to change yourself as well. You and Zitac are currently going through our partner enablement program. This is our way of actually together building, enabling you to actually work not only with Zervicepoint. Before I won't tell any more, what are your thoughts at the moment about the partner enablement program we are doing?
No, I think it's been a great experience so far, and I'm not just saying it because Rickard is here, but it's been maybe the best one that we have gone through, and we've been maybe to 10 in past history with different suppliers. But the success, I think, has been that we've done it together. It really feels like we do this together, and it's a great plan for both trainings, the selling part of it, your thoughts about that, and we learned a lot as well from how you do it, and we see a lot of similarities, but I would say that I'm impressed in some parts that the way you go to market, you put the customer always first, or the user first, and you see it from the user's perspective and stuff like that. So so far it's been a great experiment. So, but we try to also now bring in more and more people into this, and I think that's the challenge maybe in the future, that it doesn't stop the partner program, it continues. And we need to
it's a journey.
Keep training people, keep testing products and stuff like that. So hopefully your customers and our customers will see a more active partner also in the community and stuff like that in the future.
What has been your favorite part of the ones that you actually been part of?
No, I think it's the best part is meeting people that share the same vision, I would say, like your team here, that there are people who are quite similar to us, and you always like people who are similar to yourself. So I think meeting the people that have the same focus is what I have liked most so far. So
yeah, both focus, and like I said again, coming back to the good movie, You Had Me at Hello. We shared the same mindset, the vision, where we would like to have a user-centric actually approach to everything, which benefits the whole organization. And as you say, our thoughts before running the partner enablement program was that this is not something that this is a checklist for you to go through to just reach a certain level. We wanted to do it together. So it's and that's really appreciated to hear you actually feeling that as well. So where we built, like when we talk about how to bring Zervicepoint to the market with you, we built a specific way of go-to-market together with you. And that's how we love to do it. Our focus, we usually say that we would like to provide a friction-free workday for us as individuals. But in your own workday, if you could wish for just one thing, what would that be?
Well, can I wish for two?
You can wish for two. Okay, it's a premiere episode, so you can do
I just came up with another thing now talking about. No, but first I would say maybe something connected to my day at home with a lot of kids, trying to report to the schools in kindergarten that they're sick or vacation period. We still do it on paper, which surprised me a little bit.
You do it on paper?
We have systems for it, but it doesn't work. So if someone can fix that, I would be happy. The other part is maybe this exists, so you have to stop me if I'm getting old and doesn't follow all the apps that are out there. But I thought about it today, that I still have to download a parking app every time I go to a new area in Sweden. Shouldn't it be possible to have an app that combines all the parking apps?
Oh, you mean an app for that?
So if there are some genius out there, build that app. I don't need any royalties, but if you buy that, I don't have to download a new app if I have to pay it for parking.
Wherever you go. No, exactly.
Maybe it exists, but
that is two ways, and actually
then you have to show an old man how to download it.
I actually don't know. Please give us some insights, both of us, if there is an app for all the.
And I don't need the royalties. I just need to use it.
You just want the app. And that is two. What you're mentioning is actually two basic things in your workday or your day. That's also something to not forget. I think it's so easy to get sidetracked. Actually, I want a big AI project, and you have organizations focusing on that. Might be right, might be wrong, but it's so often that they forget about us as humans. Actually, what's your plan for the summer? Will it be friction free? What will
I just said I have 3 kids, so I think you understand that.
Okay, so it will be a lot of fun then.
Yeah, I hope so.
And an adventure, of course.
Yeah, I hope so.
So if we help out there, summing up, we've been talking to Carl-Johan Hultqvist here from Zitac about business automation, where you are mentioned to us. Don't forget that you actually need to focus on the streamlining your processes and actually how you work. What was the next step?
After that, you need to control of your data, of course. But after that, you can start automate. If you have control of your processes, then you can start. And after that, of course, is the business intelligence stuff. But that's the next step.
We get to that later. Don't forget about the us normal individuals. And then we also talked about where we see that it's actually moving towards, it's not an IT issue anymore. It's a business issue. It's something that the whole organization need to focus on, and that has also shifted in how you get contacted and who's actually interested in it. And finally, we got 2 suggestions for your friction-free workday, and help us out with if there is an app for this. So we're actually we're wrapping this section off. Thank you. You did great.
Thank
no
you.
extra. There. Do you want to press that one as well?
That was easy.
That was easy. And we have one more thing actually, because we got feedback from you. We love feedback in any form, like I said before, that you would like to get a little more in-depth view of our roadmap. So we actually got that. Are you ready, Per? Yes. So that is the next section. We will jump over to Per giving us an insight into where we are in the roadmap and what you can look forward to in the nearby and long-term future. So thank you for being here.
You.
And I hope to have you coming back in a year or so and talk a little bit more about
I hope so too.
how it's been going for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Per, take it away.
Hi and welcome to the roadmap session. My name is Per Johansson. I'm product owner at Zervicepoint. So the new roadmap consists of 3 different parts. It's the feature roadmap, it's the main changes and the plugins. We have also introduced new labels for the different features included in the roadmap. It's called released, which is something the things that we have done. Indicative is something that is coming in the close near-term perspective, and we have the candidate features, which is something that comes in 6 to 18 months. So let's get going. Having a look at the feature roadmap, we can see what we have been doing the last 6 to 9 months is pretty much that we have released a new cloud. We have created a lot of new features that will simplify the way that we actually create new services. So for the people that actually do the work and create all the processes and forms and so forth, we have, for instance, the grouped activities that will simplify your daily work a lot. But we have also put some focus on further enhancing the new UI that we actually launched in the beginning of last year. So if we have a look at the features, we can see that we have hide mask values, we have hide service image gallery, service version handling, table pages and so forth. So very good functionality. So if you don't have one of the latest releases, just get going, I would say. You will gain a lot from it. If we then have a look at what is coming soon instead, we can see that we continue the focus on cloud. We will enable now a central provisioning server that will allow us to actually have a lot of customers on the same central provisioning server instead of having the local one. So that demand will disappear basically. The cloud will also enable the possibility for us to actually give you or sell you a lab environment centrally. So if you don't have a lab environment as before, this is an easy way of actually accomplishing that. We will do some enhancements to the user interface as well, with more information on the first page. We have gotten feedback on that since before, that having just the recommended services and the favorites, the tiles there is not enough. You would like to inform your employees about other things as well in the first page. So this is something that we are doing as we speak. Great functionality as well. Long longed for is a new installer. This will help a lot when it comes to maintenance of Zervicepoint, getting up to the latest release, reuse of information from earlier releases and so forth. Then when it comes to efficiency at work, basically copy paste and short commands is key functionality, and this will gain you a lot of time actually when you are building new services. We also add some new plugins here related to cloud, MS Teams and MS Intunes. So that is what we have planned for the next 6 months, so to say. There will be more, but this is the highlights. Looking at the future then, we can see demands, for instance, for e-signature that we have at the bottom. We also will have a go on the admin interface that we have now. It's great as it is, but we have seen that we will be able to do more enhancements there to make it even more efficient for you to work and understand all the different parts of it. So that is something that we will look into in detail. The same goes for APIs, that we have a version 2 that we are now investigating. What do we need? Is it Graph API? Is it REST API? Is it webhooks? Whatever. So this is something that is really interesting, and that we are looking forward to actually evaluating and getting your feedback on. Obviously, we would like to get feedback on all of this from you. Reporting analytics is something that is also really, really valuable to you, we believe. Online education, central service management, white labeling and multi-federation. The last 3 pretty much related to MSP, our MSP customers. So that is also great functionality. Again, please give us feedback on this via our Slack channel, the community channel, or directly to me. Because this is very, very important information when I do the prioritization of the backlog and so forth, and the roadmap, obviously. So let's get going to the next slide. Main changes then, what is that? It's a way of presenting what has been changed since the last time we actually had such a presentation like this. So in 3 months you will have a different view, or we will have a different view of the reality. We will have made some changes both in the indicative and the candidate scope, obviously based on your feedback and our findings. So this slide set here is supposed to give you an update on what type of changes. So in this particular case, I've only added functionality this time, since this is the first time we actually use this slide. But next time it may be that we have removed, and then we will indicate that here as well. Why we have added so much this time is, in particular in the future part, is because I would like to get feedback on it. You need to know what we are thinking about for the next 6 to 18 months to actually implement in the product. And for you to be able to give feedback, obviously, you need to know. So that is why we've added quite a few features in future. So one part left, which is the plugins. As I said earlier, we are thinking about the MS Intunes and MS Teams plugins as the next phase, but we have e-signature as one option to that. So give us feedback, which is the most important to you, and we will perhaps take that into consideration when we make the decisions on the priorities. Thanks a lot. Bye.
And we're back. Thank you, Per. Well, he's out there virtual. Thank you. So we're wrapping things up. I can't mention it enough. As always, we love feedback in any form. So drop us a note in the comments, send us an email if you don't have access to our community channel, info@zervicepoint.com, or post an emoji, or why not just give us a hug. Put a little human emotion in this harsh digital business world. And if you like this live stream, give us a thumbs up, and what you should subscribe as well.
In 5 minutes I will do it.
Yes, and also click the alarm bell if you would like all the notifications when we go live and post new stuff. And if you find anything that you would like us to talk about in the future, or any specific, or if you are a customer that would like to be on the show, just give us feedback on those areas as well. And all the links are in the description, both how you can connect with me and Carl-Johan, Zitac's homepage, service points, and the vlog series. Everything is there. Just go in there and enjoy your Friday with some extra stuff there. Okay, we're wrapping up. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
This is Carl-Johan Hultqvist from Zitac. My name is Richard, part of the awesome gang called Team Zervicepoint. In the end of the day, we just love to provide some friction-free workday for all of you out there. So think big, act small, and aim to be awesome. And we're signing off. Thank you for today. Bye.